An unusual occurrence. We got Thursday at John's. There might be a Friday at John's. I took the rest of the week off. My allergies are just, my eyes are swollen almost shut. How much did you turn it down?
Not as much as the other one yet.
That's good. Let's try it.
Trying to keep it as big as we can. And the bigger the better.
Yeah, that way less noise.
Got a definite flat on it now.
Heavier, way heavier.
Well, it's good. The brass hub, that's a solid rubber tire. That's not a foam tire.
Yeah, I think that'll work.
Good in there.
Yep. Need to put a little Loctite on this though. So we'll get it in there and see if it works first.
That sounds better than the other one. Still probably gonna be noisy.
No, well.
I mean, the only other way you could get rid of noise is foam.
Put a wire on it.
Yeah. I'm thinking a slot car wheel or something, but they're not foam. The rear wheels are, but they're way wide.
We'll just try this.
The problem is, there's no wire or anything to absorb bumps, and so anything that it hits translates right into the airframe.
Right into the rudder.
Yeah.
We'll drop the Loctite on there.
Wherever you put it at.
Well, as much as I want to fly the Continental, Hunt has suggested that I fly this.
Why?
I got more flights on it, and I know that it works.
Well, that's what I said. Fly the one you're most comfortable with. When you got the most practice on, although they're all the same airplane, they should fly pretty similar to what you're used to.
Now that I got the Loctite on there, I can't get it back in there.
What do you got in there? You got a blind nut?
Yep.
You need to put that on the blind nut and then thread it in there.
No.
I got this wheel right here.
God, let it go.
Flip it out there off the table.
Yeah. Okay. Try again.
I wouldn't put it on that because then you got to shove it through the wheel.
How am I going to get it on the blind nut inside there?
You got a hole all the way through it, don't you?
Yeah.
Well, from outside here, you put a little dab on toothpick and put inside.
There we go.
I didn't remember how you did that tail wheel for sure. I didn't know if that hole went all the way through.
No, probably should have made it go all the way through. Oh, crap. So it's going to be another couple of nights of rubbing on this one. Get the bottom up to snuff.
Got bug guts on it.
Look at all that blue
You
lock.
can tell, look how that dulled up. You polished it all out when that was still green.
Wow. I just put a drop on it and it's everywhere.
Yeah, that's terrible. It'll lock that tire right up in there. You grind a big flat spot on it the first time you land.
Yeah. Just remind me and I'll make sure this broke loose.
You get a drop of oil down in there on it. I didn't know. I was just sitting down there talking to Dick down there at the hobby shop, and I said, "Man, what happened to all your heat shrink tubing?" Oh, we moved that back in the back to make room. I think people were taking it. But anyway, I said, "Let me look at it." So we went back in the back, and I was looking at it to try to get some for. I have some here, and I wanted a different size, a little bit bigger. It wasn't so hard to get the eyelets through and stuff. So he just cut me off a couple pieces of it and gave it to me. Said, "Here, try these." And then I come home and I found it.
Yeah, I got
3 feet of it, each color or something, about the same size.
I got a ton of it. I think I got 10 foot of each.
Lifetime supply.
Oh yeah.
Doing lines and lead out. Here's your wheel. Put your wheel up somewhere. A $10,000 tail wheel.
Yeah.
Here's that proper team, man.
Let's see what anybody said. Nope, nobody said nothing yet.
He's got really nasty looking hub areas on him.
Yeah. I'll get Danny to make these.
Gonna have to take a prop sander like Byron Barker thing and
I got one.
put them on each side, put it on the motor and run it on each side of it.
No, you just hold it in your hand. I got a tool to do that.
Yeah, I got one too, somewhere.
Kind of like that, but it has a.
This is for quarter inch. I don't think I made one. There's one for actual prop one for quarter inch. Put a bushing in there and do like that. Whatever kind of sandpaper I want on it. That's so I can chuck this in a drill.
Yeah, Jim Lee didn't want to make me one to chuck in the drill.
Well, he doesn't want everybody screwing them up. You know, you can make a mistake real fast with a drill.
Nobody has said anything. Okay, so the plan for today on my Tucker is to put the name on it. Where's your clear
Mother Tucker.
transfer tape?
Down under that drill press. See, right there's one.
Yeah.
There's one I made, the smaller one.
Yeah.
It fits in the big hub. I ran out of aluminum. I used a piece that I had on hand.
Man, I hope I get these on the first try.
You got some copies.
Yeah, but I got these allergy attacks going, and what do they do today at the apartment? Start cutting the grass.
Wouldn't have it any other way, would you?
Ridiculous.
Hopefully that rain will help out. Right now, it would be a great day to go flying. If there wasn't a chance of thunderstorms all the time, so you got all that electricity in the air.
Windy.
It's windy, it's gusting. Outside that, pretty nice outside. Humid, you can feel the moisture in the air. I still gotta get a hold of Randy.
I told him.
Hey, Randy?
Yeah.
What'd you tell him?
You're gonna send your motor to him? You need to get it back.
What'd he say?
You need to get the crankshaft.
Yeah, when's that gonna be? When the 75s are done?
Yeah, he didn't have any right now.
Well, when I talked to him, he said he didn't know if he had any. He said he didn't have any.
Well, then I guess he doesn't know whether he has any because I didn't get that far.
There, that looks much better.
Pretty solid. Pretty solid. Okay, so.
Make one of those bigger.
Let's see here. I guess the only thing to do is stick it on there and see if I screw it up.
Yeah.
Come look at this real quick if it's in a straight line. I want it in line with the
What?
datum. Stand over there and get that. I don't want it like that. I want it.
Yeah, I know. That yellow stripe sort of goes uphill and sort of arches a little bit. It looks pretty good to me from here.
Okay.
See, before I stick them down like that, I tape them on there and then stand back and.
Yeah, we'll have to do that with the other side. Yeah, that could have went up a little bit.
Higher?
Yeah. Yeah, let me take this off and see what it is.
Actually, I think you should go lower, if anything, if you're looking at top to bottom.
Can't do it. You know why it's going on there.
Because you got your needle valve stuff over here in the way. Oh, yeah. Well, then I guess you're sort of stuck with that. I'm gonna use this blade. And we're making some noise, boys.
Eight watchers. Yeah, it looks all right. Now I need to see if I can get this one on the same spot. This is always the hard part.
Yep, I use my little straight edge thing that I made
Yeah.
with the adjustable end on it. And mark off the one that I just did.
Okay. Where would I measure from?
Anywhere that you got sort of semi-flat surface, the bottom or I don't know. That's pretty tough thing on that scenario. Everything's at radius. You got a muffler in the way. Guess I'm not thinking of pipe plane, don't have all that stuff sticking out there.
You know what? I'm just gonna wing it. Ah, come on.
I did with mine. I measured everything I could and everything else covered.
This side looks good. The other side's just a smidge off. where it's gonna have to be. I started watching this series, Designated Survivor,
Yeah.
and you can tell that the liberals wrote it. I mean, they blew up the Capitol, and he's an independent. Yeah, have you seen it?
A little bit.
It's ridiculous. Look at this. See what you think. Go stand on that side, or look at this side and then stand on the other side. See, it's got to stay inside the yellow.
It looks pretty straight. That one's downhill in the front.
Downhill on the front.
The other one's downhill on the front, but not as much.
Okay, so stand back and look at it.
That's a lot better. Now you gotta get front to back and
Well,
up and down.
See, you can't.
Whatever you're peeing off that yellow line an eighth of an inch or a 16th or whatever.
It's the same. I mean, because the way the T is on this end on this side, and the T's on it.
Right, but you still sort of want it centered.
Right, that's exactly what I got there. But how about this way?
That's what you gotta tell. You gotta key off this yellow line here where up and down it is on that yellow line on both sides. Now you can tell that because you can just look at the smaller letters and key off the small letters on that.
Yeah.
This looks like you're about an eighth of an inch below this yellow line about this point. The yellow line goes uphill.
Check it out. I can't tell what you're talking about. It looks good to me, but
Yeah, it's about the same. Let's see. Dang thing on a cowling, the nose of an airplane, you really don't have anything to. That looks pretty good. Let's see here about how much of that line. I think this I can get to the rear a little bit.
it would be off the yellow then. The R is almost touching the yellow line.
Okay, well, your one side must be a little bit different than the other side laying out.
The stripes, yeah, they're just slightly different.
The best thing is look down from the top. You almost have to have it all the way on there to see if it wraps around up and down the same way. You know, because you can normally tell if these are wrong or if you got a point coming up here, if it's off center by looking straight down on them.
Yeah, but I don't want to stick it all the way down.
I know. You're gonna have, nah, I wouldn't do that.
It's close.
Best thing is get it here in the center of the table where you can get back 4 or 5 feet on that side and 4 or 5 feet on this side.
I like this side. This side turned out right.
Well, the problem is when when you flip the words around and that the way you look at it's completely different.
I think it'll be fine. Huh?
I think it will be two. You're just flush with the yellow stripe on this side, basically the same on that side, about the same gap on the front off the yellow line, about the same height. Because I'm trying to look at the bottom of these letters come down at the end of the blue here, about an 1/8 inch below the blue.
Mm-hmm.
You take a straight edge line back here, it comes out about right there.
Mm-hmm.
And the same on that side. So as long as it's not tilted,
Does it look like it's,
I think it looks pretty straight.
that side does?
This side's, I can see it, but it's only a 64th of an inch, you know. It's only because I'm sitting there dwelling on that. And this side, I go with it. I make sure it gets rubbed down, rubbed in around all the angles and go for it. Let's see here.
Damn. Close enough for who it's for. Yeah, I guess. We have audio. Can you guys hear us? We should have audio. Let us know if you can hear us. Nobody has said anything.
You know, before when you went outside over your place,
Yeah, I couldn't hear.
I couldn't hear you at all.
I got that straightened out. Matter of fact, I'll wake them up right now. Turn this on. And turn this on. All right, guys, could you hear us before? I need to know about the audio. I don't want to use this microphone. I want to go off the other one. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me now?
Otherwise, I gotta. Okay, sounded great. All right, had to shut the phone off. Restart it now. I can't get the camera switched around. There we go. There we are. Okay. All right. I ain't gonna touch the damn thing. YouTube, quit monkeying around. It works fine. You don't need to improve it. Shitty nutly. Where's the? You got any paper down here?
What kind of paper?
Masking paper. Mask this off.
There's some, a little bit back there.
Tape.
Probably not. I'm almost out of the nice thin paper. As in, very little of it.
We'll get some more.
I'd rather use that big heavy stuff, and that stuff's a pain in the butt.
No tape down here.
No tape, not that kind of tape. Ah, goodness, I just ate that piece up. I wasn't even thinking heavy hit on that. Ruined that. Ruined it.
This is some tape I brought, but you can use it or whatever if you don't have none.
Oh, I got tape.
Well, what I'm gonna do on here, is just little strips with an airbrush. Ain't gonna take much. Where's your scissors? Here they are. Yeah, this series, Designated Survivor, started out good, but it sure turned left in a heartbeat.
That's amazing. I used to watch that until I found out it's all pre-staged and everything. One company does all that stuff over in Europe. Makes all those shows, the Alaskan shows, and Survivor, and all of them.
This is on Netflix. Keeper Sutherland. I mean, it's decent, but you can tell that there is an agenda. They're talking about gun control. They're talking about climate change, how it's bad. Everything.
It stands out like a sore thumb.
Yeah, they ruined it.
Leave it up to Hollywood to do something stupid.
I guess they don't think people are smart enough to see that.
Well, they don't. They absolutely don't.
Let's see if there's anybody with us still after that debacle. Oh yeah, 10 and 9. In the same light as this side. Hope you can turn them all around so you can see the other side. Yeah, we turned it around.
Yep.
What?
Pretty close.
It ain't. It's where it is now. I got to thinking about those exhaust pipes and that. Nah.
Yeah. Tucker up there was good.
I just like the shoestring.
You gonna put your name on it?
No, I don't have any decals. Not only that, it's too late. I'd have to clear over them. This I can just paint black and rub out.
I probably still put clear over.
Not today.
Today. It's not good they do much of anything out there. It's just nasty in general.
About 300% humidity.
Well, the barometer states 80%. Dang near breathing water. And it's foggy out. It's gonna get up to 80 degrees, they said.
So you guys wanted me to turn it around. There it is on that side. And when it gets painted, it'll look fine.
When did you talk to Randy?
The other day, I have to try hard to like conservatives also. Yeah, okay. I'm not a liberal, I'm not a conservative. I'm just a realist.
That's sort of how I consider myself, the realist. You know, there's a right way, there's a wrong way. You know, that's not much more than that. You can make up whatever ways and rename you all you freaking want, but it's still the same thing. Well, it took you an hour and a half to put that on there, and you're gonna take it longer to clean the airbrush out then.
Yeah. Oh, we got a tail wheel made. I just hope it quiets it down. I kind of doubt it by listening to it.
Those are unobtainium too, you know that thing.
Listen to that.
The only way you're gonna get rid of that is with foam. You don't have enough thickness in there to get foam.
Oh, it locked that wheel up too.
You put one flight on it.
That wheel's locked up tighter than Dick's hat band. Shit.
Don't spin it on the brass. You'll ruin that wheel. If you do that,
Give me where's the Allen wrench? Gonna have to take it out. Ah, damn it.
you don't have to put heat on it.
Shouldn't.
You want to put it in there with this red Loctite the next time?
No. I think I'm gonna put it back together with no Loctite.
There, drills out. Inside a bit smaller.
Yeah, that's fine.
You go bigger.
No, it doesn't need it. Doesn't even need that. Well, that would have been a disaster. Airplane, you hit the ground.
You grind a big flat spot in an
Yeah.
unobtainium wheel.
Yeah.
And you can't find them things. That's one I can't remember. Some guy made them things in his basement. Little teeny half A racing wheels. Stuff's still wet.
I don't know.
Looks like you got some on the outside of the paint area on this side.
Yeah, probably. Yes. But I can rub that off. Maybe. Alcohol, take it off.
Maybe.
91 proof.
Yeah, 70. Go light and scale up.
I didn't do shit. Sandpaper will take it off.
Here's 90.
That don't take it off either. Nope. Yeah, well, it'll be fine. I'll get it off with rubbing compound. And if not, sand it off.
Yeah. Well, you got clear on it. That's a good thing. It's a good thing you didn't get that on there when before the clear went on it. Yeah, barrier. So I got to get clear on my airplane. God, man. So get that white sealed in there before it starts showing dirt.
Man, that's unbelievable. That shit won't come off.
I have no idea what its base is on it or anything. Of course, this is microscopic. You can't read that. Caution may cause allergic reaction.
Yeah, can't be any more allergic than the pollen out there. Have to check it again in a minute.
Put a little drop of oil in that hub over there. Clear bottom.
This one?
Air tool will work.
Get a little oil in the carburetor. No oil. Just one more thing for me to work on.
Well, of course, gotta give you a whole bunch of stuff to do before the naps.
Yeah.
My biggest thing is waiting for weather. Do that Liberty Bell, I guess. Might be able to do that without a bunch of blushing. Maybe.
I didn't bring my gold leaf stuff.
Maybe do a Saturday then.
I forgot.
I gotta get clear on the thing. I have to get some clear on it so I can start inking. Get that white sealed in.
I wonder if I put red Loctite on the outside of that. On the head of it, you know, because it's down in there.
It'd probably be just as good just put a little teeny dab of the super glue on it. But you'll never get it out of there if you ever want to take it out.
Maybe a dab.
You got a hole all the way through, you don't have a hole out the other side?
No. Maybe a dab of epoxy.
That'd be better because then at least you could heat it up or heat up an end of an Allen wrench and stick it down in there to.
You got any 2000 grit sandpaper?
Probably. Might be a piece laying there on the table.
Where?
Right there. Or 1500 or something.
2000. What?
Never fails, man. Chasing all these little mistakes and stuff on there and little pull-ups and stuff can create more work than leaving them. I think I'm gonna go out and get me one of them big set of magic markers. It's got about 15,000 different colors.
Yeah. Good idea.
Get a brand new set right before the naps. So I make sure they're all good. Yeah. You can color over 2 or 3 different colors, trying to shade it and everything.
It's gonna be outside. They're not gonna be under them lights, so
Yeah, it'd be like it did last year.
I wonder who's gonna do it.
I don't know. I hear that they're having a hard time getting enough judges. They've only got 2 judges per circle. They want like 4 per circle. Or judge the scoring from one circle to the next could be too
Well, it's either gonna be a Rusty's
big.
or Walker or Fitzgerald. I mean,
I don't know. Derek's got a chance probably. Alan Golf crashed his airplane.
oh, really?
Yeah.
What happened?
I don't know. So there's at the L pad and it just busted in about garbage bag size.
Yeah, but he's got other airplane.
Yeah, he's not without, but I mean that was this year's airplane,
That's always the possibility, just before the Nats.
Right before the Nats, you're out there practicing, Well, you take that anytime. You build you an airplane for the Nats, even if you did it 6 months ahead of time, and you take your time. Every time you go out, it's a risk. and you're trying to keep from dinging it up and all that stuff, so it looks pretty for appearance judging and all that stuff. So you try not. That's the whole point, I think, between building 2 airplanes every year that are identical. Practice with one, the other's for the gnats, and you only fly the one for the gnats just enough to get it trimmed out.
Just at the gnats.
And you only fly at the gnats.
Well, that's what Casanado does with his Hellcat.
Yeah.
Boxed up, sits
in somebody's basement or garage or something, until next year. He probably takes it out and makes sure his buddy, whoever he stores it at, takes it out and makes sure the motor runs right and all that stuff and everything's washed out for him, and he flies in.
Yeah.
He's a smart guy. Why did it any different? Not to mention, it always gives you always have a backup that way too. If you smash up your good plane, trimming it out, you go to the practice plane and you have to pull it in the service. May not look as good, but.
Well, I got 4 airplanes I can fly.
Yeah, you have 4 that you're comfortable with.
I'm really only comfortable with 1, but it's so ratty.
See, losing that month really hurts us East Coasters here. Because that's 2 or 3 weeks there time, but we haven't had any weather here. It's been terrible. Not raining, it's windy.
I just went to the bathroom. I sure hope I didn't show it.
Raining. Yeah, you may have just shot everybody or shot you in the bathroom.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. Charles says, what if you press Delrin into a bushing in the tail wheel? That way it wouldn't be affected by Loctite or make noise. Yeah. Thank you, Mel. Hi, Sparky and John. Models looking fantastic. I have to try hard for conservatives also. Whatever.
I made some aluminum rims with Delrin bearings in them, and they weren't any quieter than just running on the aluminum.
Yeah, the problem with this tail wheel is that there's no wire. It's inside on plywood in the rudder. So when you drop it on the ground, the noise resonates through the whole airplane.
Right through the whole airplane, every little bump ding. So it takes a foam wheel, which it's only not even a 1/4 of an inch thick up in there, where that wheel's got to fit. So you put a foam wheel in there, you give one flight and the foam will be wore off of it.
So the thought was, John made me this wheel. That was the original tail wheel in there, and boy, is it noisy. It's aluminum hub with an O-ring on it, and it's a nice tail wheel, real nice. However, when it rolls along the ground, it sounds like grinding. So we took a little race wheel and spun it down and stuck it in place of that one. So we'll see what happens.
Now here's some wheels. Call them baby buggy wheels. Because they sound like an old steel wheel baby buggy and they got little rubber O-rings on them. Aluminum, they got Delrin bushing. Aluminum, the noisiest doggone things you ever heard in your life. They're nice wheels. I mean, they're streamlined and all that stuff, and
They're light.
they're light.
Who made them?
Bill Reynolds, Rico.
Baby buggy wheels, but like John says, I guess
They're noisy as all get out. The rubber O-ring doesn't have any kind of absorption to it. And it doesn't matter whether they're in a aluminum landing gear or on wire landing gear, it's still noisy. Not the same. What absorbs is that foam, because most of these tires are made out of foam. That little tail wheel is so small that I think you'd eat the foam off of it in a matter of a flight or two. You know, because it's not even a 1/4 inch wide. It's 3/32, isn't it?
Pretty narrow.
So what we got, Don's Racing Wheels, and I think that's what they were called. Not made anymore. I think I got another one somewhere. Don't like these. These are hard plastic racing wheels. Years gone by.
Yeah, that would sound. That would.
There they are, Don's Racing Wheels. Can't you fit one of them plastic ones and one of these in there? They too thick? You can show them what that is. These aren't big enough around, I don't think.
I don't want to drag the rudder. It's got to be 3/4 of an inch. That's the wheel that's in there now.
Those are barely 3/4. But the problem with those pop off the rims.
Yeah. How about one of them? How wide is that? What's the width?
Well, over 1/4 of an inch. Whether or not this would pop off back there in the back, I don't know.
Yeah, just be. Stop.
It's probably too thick to go up in there. See, they're pretty thick.
This is too small.
It's 3/4.
That ain't 3/4.
It's 3/4.
I don't know where you get that.
The one edge is on the one edge right here on 3/4. That's where I get it.
Where's your calipers? You think that's 750, huh? Yeah, I suppose 730.
These right here are marked as 3/4, and they don't look as big as that one.
They're bigger.
They're just as thick as that wheel too.
Well, drill the axle out to whatever side you drill that one out to, and I'll try that one. Try to get it in. Put some CA on the rubber.
That whole thing.
Because I think this one's going to be loud. Well, I think they're all going to be loud, really. Well, hang on before you drill it. Let me see if it'll fit in there. I think it will. It'll go in there. Might have to sand the side just a little to get it to clear.
What are you gonna do?
Sand the rubber just a little. I mean, it.
Does the hole fit?
No, that won't fit. Oh, that drill bit you gave me is. Is that my bolt there?
Yeah, that's your bolt.
That's a special length. Anybody else there?
This is what we use on the Fox race planes because they're indestructible. I'm not worried about tearing the wheel up, bouncing them in, racing.
Okay. I think it's rubbing.
Probably is.
So,
This is a lot thinner.
let's see, hear what it sounds like. That's better. What do you think?
Probably. It's gonna be noisy, it don't matter what you put in there. Probably put a foam wheel in there and what it'd do is bounce hard enough on a little crack that it'd start hitting wood.
That rudder's only 3/8 of an inch off the ground.
Yeah, and you use 3/32 inch thick wood or did you use 1/4 inch thick wood on it?
On what?
The rudder.
1/2 inch.
That's not a 1/2 inch right there, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, 1/2 inch minus
60.
16th on each side.
Yeah. This took 4 times to make.
Yeah, ain't that bad.
Yeah.
Well, that one is probably your quietest bit. Probably.
Well, I got the other one just in case I put it back in.
Those are a copy, and I think they're generic. I think they are.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Copy.
perfect wheels. And that was the only problem I ever had with them. And the wheel was exposed on a piece of wire. You'd run around the circle and it'd just take one flight or two flights and the rubber's gone. And just go flying off. And I tried silicone and more and all sorts of things. I couldn't get nothing to keep them things on there, so I quit using them. And I found those Williams Brothers wheels. Those are the best wheels I found yet. Even though they're a little teeny bit heavier, they don't come off the rim.
Right.
Anytime you have that, do not have to carry repair parts around with you to contest or practice or whatever, you know. I probably got an airplane over there somewhere that's just got
Tail hub on it?
Yeah, a rim back there.
Well, I guess we go upstairs and paint this real quick. You brought the airbrushes down.
Yeah, I need to get an adapter.
I got it. Oh, no, I don't have it. No, I don't.
I thought you had a yellow box for that.
Yellow box. I do have a yellow box, but it's got the other paint stuff in it.
Oh, the big gun.
The big guns, yeah. I put the airbrushes in this. I've had this for a while.
These are adapters for airlines.
Yeah. What you could do.
I could use one of these if this will thread on there.
Yep.
And cut the end of one of them hoses off.
Yep.
Push that up in there and put a little hose clamp on it.
That'll work.
They didn't have any of no parts and pieces whatsoever, not for Grex. They don't sell Iwata. And they didn't have anything for Grex.
Well, this will work on either Grex or Iwata.
And they didn't have anything for Badger. And now I'll have to get me something that adapts one of them to one of them. Because my air hose has a fitting like this on each end of it, I think. So I need to be able to adapt it to a full-size air hose. Which means I'll have to go to the hardware store and I'll have to find probably two fittings to make that work right.
Probably.
A quick connect fitting to an adapter to this adapter. Good thing I was given an air hose. Next one. You know how much one of them things costs, or a quick change adapter? $20
For what?
a little quick change coupling
For an airbrush?
for an airbrush. $20. I said, boy, they must think an awful highly of that chrome that they put on that thing. It could just be brass or bronze or steel, maybe even aluminum for that matter.
Well, Mel, you deleted a message. What was the message?
Put my decal on.
Now we're going to go upstairs and I'm going to spray this. We're not in a spelling contest here, Mel, so it don't matter. He said he put impressive, but misspelled it. Whatever.
Right. We're not critics at large.
Yeah, everybody else might be, but not me. I can't spell either.
I double check the simplest thing sometimes just to make sure. I don't know if your excuse, but ours is we're getting old. We just don't care. Haven't you ever seen one of those poster boards that has all the words are misspelled wrong and they're backwards and everything else, but yet you can read all the way through it and you understand everything that it says? Yeah, there you go.
Well, you bring the camera. We'll come back down or whatever, because it's about 3,000 degrees up there.
Yeah, it feels like you're in the shower. You just got out of the shower.
It needs spell checkers, Karen software, I guess. You bet, Mel.
Yeah. Yeah, Karen software.
Let me wind this stuff up. We're going to have to plug this thing in up there, though.
Green cord's in there.
Yeah, Karen software. You bet.
Did you put your number and stuff on both sides of the swing?
It's exactly the same on the bottom as it is on the top, as per Jim Lynch's instruction. It's got to look as good on the bottom as it does the top.
It doesn't have to be the same, but it's got to look as good.
Yeah, well.
That means you don't skip 3 or 4 sanding and buffings on it. That's what that means.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Mr. Monkey, correct. And you're not the only one that got busted on that deal. And then other people. Real easy. Let's just leave a coat of clear off here. Let's just not put the paint on this heavy there. And...
Well, I know this thing gained some weight. You know how I know? I changed the muffler out to Big Art.
Yeah.
Gained a ½ ounce. This one's heavier than the PA-75 airplane.
You got a new thing? Is that your Wi-Fi deal?
No, that's not Wi-Fi. That's a wireless mic, but you got to have it plugged in to work that mic. So that's what I was testing this morning.
Man, this can get ridiculous, can it?
Yeah. Okay.
The dog doesn't. You got an airbrush in your pocket, or
I got it in my hand.
watch your ceiling?
Yeah, I know. You gotta go first?
Don't matter.
You get the door. What's Mom cooking?
Tacos for lunch.
Tacos for lunch. Smells good.
You guys ready?
No. What time is it?
20 after 1.
Probably won't be long though.
Done, but I don't know how hot it is. I'll put it on again.
Well, hold off for a little bit. I don't know where to grab this thing at.
I'll get it.
Fall apart.
Okay. I'm gonna raise that up.
Do I want to? No, I don't want to. But...
Let me set this on the floor so you can raise it. Come on.
Plastic.
Might as well show everybody your airplane. Where's that green cord? Is it over there?
Right here.
All right, we're almost there. I got to tell you, the amount of time that it's going to take me to do this Tucker will be less than a minute. It's ridiculous.
Oh, you're sick of pain now. Man, the humidity out here is ridiculous.
Looking down from the top here, it looks right. I need a little black in here. We got black already in it.
There's black in one of them 2 jars right there. It's already thin and everything.
Yeah, except I don't have a top for this. We still got a big jar of black, right?
You get a couple.
Yeah.
There's paper towels that already been ripped off, and some that's been cut up.
We don't need to run the compressor, or is it empty?
It's not empty, it shouldn't be. If it's turned on, might not be turned on.
Now it's on. It's got 80 pounds in it. That ought to be able enough to do a 2-pound job.
Enough to do a whole airplane being in here without ever running. They used to say, well, you can use your spare tire.
Yeah, well, not really.
Buy this adapter.
We have the air hose. Yeah, I see a Decatur cartridge. We have the air hose.
You can't pull it out. Good.
Okay. One more press down. Look like it's covered.
Yeah.
Yeah, but gotta get enough paint on there. I don't want to clear it, so I just want to rub it.
Gotta make sure it's wet.
That's it.
It's a tough one.
Gotta get a little thinner in this and shoot it through. I don't want to end up with another dead airbrush. You got another prop there.
That's the one I just brought up.
What are you gonna do with it? Paint it?
No, I was gonna put it in a box where I can take it with me in case I go out there.
Get all balanced?
Yeah.
Think that's good enough?
I don't know. Let's put this airbrush in there and see if it works.
Unplug it.
I had it apart and back together a couple times. That's telling me there's an air leak or something in it. To me.
It ain't bad though. I mean, better than it was.
Nah, something wrong. The overhang bed or something in it. How the hell did that happen? It's all tight in a knot here.
Shoot a little more thinner through this and plug it back in. This one's fitting too.
There's only so many parts and pieces to them things. I don't understand it.
Maybe it's the jar that's making it fit, because this one's fit when I had it pointed down too. There it is.
What, did you obstruct the vent? Are you putting your finger over the vent in the jar? The
No.
lid of the jar?
That should be good enough.
I don't know if it's not shooting straight lacquer thinner.
It didn't spit paint. It worked as suggested. That's all right. Well, I guess I better take that off before it dries, huh?
The paper?
The stencil.
I don't know if that's a good idea or not. I get the tape and stuff off of it and the paper. It's not gonna dry very fast in this 80% humidity. see, it's 75 or 80 degrees at 80% humidity. About cut it with a knife.
Not ideal lacquer weather.
You can feel it in the air. You got that jar of black?
Yeah. Well, everybody, let me show you John's airplane. If it can be finished for the Nats, this is what he was going to take. All these things are painted on. These are not decals. Everything's painted. We're going to gold leaf the Liberty Bell Saturday. Let's see if I can get my hand straightened out.
Might tomorrow, if it humidity goes down some, I might do that leading edges on there. With I mean, sort of fake, standoff way fake. De-icing bead.
Why do you want to do that? It turned out good.
I don't know, it looks fine. I mean, I've had mixed emotions. I even put a piece of tape on there and looked at it to see it. I did two different things. I put a piece of paper, put a piece of tape across there to see what it looked like, and it looks just fine the way it is. Outside of another color on it. Doesn't really need it per se. But I need to do something with the wheel well covers. They look a little barren down there without anything on them.
Oh, I know what I wanted to do.
Just put some little stripes on them or something and put my pilot name up here.
You see, I thought of this, and maybe it's not this airplane.
Then you got the Liberty Bell, panel line, flower.
Yes, you can polish dope without clear on it.
Oh, absolutely. It's the same thing as clear. Well, what's the difference? Clear only adds depth. That's all it adds. It will come up to a shine, but it just won't look like a baby grand piano.
I see you got some cicada carcasses in here.
They're everywhere. Can't get rid of them.
You hear that Joe Biden's plane got held up for 5 hours or whatever?
Yeah, he had them attacking him when he got off the airplane.
Good.
He acted like he was scared of him.
Probably was. Could give him to that girl
He's
on.
a sheltered life.
Could give him to that girl on the news channel that ate him.
Yeah. Oh God. With Tucker Carlson, didn't he eat some of them too?
I don't think he did. I don't see Tucker doing it.
He seems a little sheepish at times, so. I'll tell you what happened to me. I pulled mine off too soon on that clots, and it took the Z off of it. I had to put the stencil back down. That's a brand new blade. I thought they was up here for doing that. It's a holder here somewhere.
Well, you might wonder what I'm doing back here. I'm taking this off.
Humid out here. Now you can see the humidity in the air out there. Foggy. It took a steady day to do anything. Go flying.
Yeah, the weather wasn't bad.
Sort of half afraid to.
Bad cat ain't got nothing on me.
Thought about putting a couple of these on there.
Yeah. That'd be better there. I'll pick them little centers out downstairs where the light's better.
What I'm afraid of is that has to go on a white surface. Because anything that's white in here is actually clear.
Right.
I'm pretty sure this is done on clear decal paper, so.
It was. Now if I can just get through this one, we'll be in there. Beautiful. It turned out perfect. Except for I gotta get them centers out. Like I say, I'll do them in the basement. You look at it from the front, equally balanced, pretty close. What do you guys think? See you guys. Thanks for sharing. Thanks, Mel. Ricardo says your plane's looking great.
Thank you.
I think that basically did its job. I think. I'll have to set it on the ground to see. That's where it really stands out.
Good.
Close.
Yeah, it's close. You got an optical illusion there because the T's on the front of the,
Right.
opposite ends of the words, on each side. So the T throws you off on where you want to look at. It makes one side look wrong, or the other, which other side you look at first, look wrong. And because of that,
You know what I'm gonna do with that airbrush? The one that I left over here? I'm gonna send it back to have it rebuilt.
that'd probably be the best thing to do. Tell them no matter what you're doing, take that. The only other thing that can be done there is you can take that little tool I made you for that Schrader valve, because that Schrader valve is backed off just a little bit.
And let me tell you what they're gonna do. If I send this one back to be rebuilt, they'll go, okay.
They'll throw that in the trash can and ship you a new one probably.
Yep. It's $200.
You're paying for chrome. But it's a nice airbrush, finish wise and all that stuff on the airbrush, but I'd like to get one of those Harbor Freight $19 ones and just see how well they do. The probably only difference is they probably won't paint as fine of a line. And if the needle was the same diameter, you might can needle and all that stuff, and see if you can interchange the needle on them and put a high quality needle in it.
Well, guys, I think we're gonna shut down for lunch. We'll be back after lunch. Appreciate you watching, and we'll see you in a few. Hour and 45 minutes. Thanks for watching. It just got 94 degrees here. Stay cool. Yeah,
Oh God, where's that at?
I don't know.
94.
All right, we'll be back. See ya.
Bye.